What's happening, Wes?
Coming in hot, Brian Paul, in a bit of a rush, if you know what
Oh,
I'm saying.
oh, oh,
In so many ways.
right.
Um,
Yep.
yeah.
It's funny. I felt like everybody who participated in our little rush gathering had somewhere else to be 30 minutes before they stopped playing, and we're just like, one more game. People can wait. It'll be fine. If anybody watched Miles' stream, he was late because of us. So you're welcome. It's good stuff.
I can't
Lots
wait
of
to
stuff to
talk
talk
more
about,
about
Wes.
yeah, I
Yep.
can't wait to talk more about that too, because it's kind of funny how it went. Because I don't think anyone consistently like made it to the end of a race, but we all wanted to keep trying.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, let's just start the show, man, and then we can talk more about it. Let's go.
Yes, let's do that.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live. We film live every single Monday, WesDay, and 2 West Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure. Care about what's going in those eyeballs. We also care what's going on the earballs. That's why I put the Stand on podcast services of your choice. My name is Brian Paul from this channel right here without Parole. And this gentleman over here to my left, you're right. It is Wes Dillon from Virtual Strangers. What's going on, Wes?
Just typical Wednesday madness in VR land. But it was nice to get a short respite and glide gracefully into the rocks repeatedly.
Wes, this is the very end of the calm before the storm. We have been, behind the scenes for you and me. It has not been calm. It has been anything but calm. We've both been working our asses off. But for the cats out there, tomorrow is when everything begins. Right? Tomorrow is basically sets off the avalanche. Tomorrow is Sweet Surrender. And then next week is a Blazing Rain and Rush VR, and we just have so much stuff happening.
And I guess that's it.
Is that it? Is that it?
I guess I wanted to say there was something else, but then I forgot what it was. So,
I mean, there's a PSVR2 day happening next week.
oh yeah,
right?
yeah. There's that little thing.
That thing.
Oh,
That
yeah.
thing. So there might be some stuff in there as well, but very exciting. You heard that? Yeah.
I heard there was some stuff.
Tell us everything you
Some
know.
things. Some things.
I feel like I would get in trouble if I said things, but if you said things, well, you'd also get in trouble, and that would be funny too.
Yeah.
But at least it wouldn't be me.
Yeah, yeah. So I could say it and I would get fired, or you could say it and I would get fired.
Oh yeah, there's no good ending to this.
Nope. There's no happy ending.
There's always a happy ending, Wes. You just need to know where to go.
Got to know when to tip and how much.
That's right. That's right. Just a tip. Wes, we've got a lot to talk about. This is an action-packed show. I didn't tell you any of the things we were going to talk about before the show because, man, we like you said earlier, we're coming in hot. But days like this are always fun.
I don't read those stuff anyway when you share it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, well, I'm so glad I spend time putting together a run of show that no one reads. I think AJ is the only one who cares. Wes, what's happening over on Virtual Strangers? I haven't been tuning in. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening outside of my little PSVR2 bubble. What's happening over there?
Making up for lost time, man. Scrambling to play everything we didn't play this year, essentially, and trying to get as many titles in each week as we can, so that by the time the end of the year gets around and we have to select award winners, no one gets left out. So we're doing shows most Sundays, including this past Sunday where we talked about Wanderer. Finally talked about Wanderer. We didn't cover it on launch for reasons, and And we did what else did we do? We did Out of Sight VR, and then we did a bunch of horror games because it's that season, right? So we did like I think 4 horror games or maybe 5. So it was a great episode. It was a long episode, like 4.5, 5 hours, something like that. But
Wow.
good time. It was a good time playing the games and talking about them. And so grateful to have Looper and D on the show and helping us play all this stuff because that means the more they play, the less I have to, right?
Looper in the chat says, "Watch the last one on replay, Brian. There was a surprising amount of PSVR1 talk. My favorite topics."
And we that comes up from time to time for sure.
Nice. Tell me how's Wander currently? I have not played it in a while on PSVR2, but I know it just launched on PC. Did it launch in a better state? I'm assuming that's what's happened.
Yeah, and that's where I played it at. I can't say for certain, but I'm told that the PlayStation version is in a very good spot right now as well. The one big thing people keep harping on is combat,
Yeah.
and I can't say that that's much improved from launch, but like in terms of bugs and things like that, if there was any jank that I encountered, it was very minor.
Okay.
And combat aside, this is not an action game. This is a story-driven single-player puzzle adventure. So like it's a great game, dude. It's a great game and a great time. And I had forgotten, I remembered that I loved it. I remembered that it was special and a great game, and one of the best in the library. It wasn't until I got back in there and remembered, oh, it's really a special game. It's kind of a unicorn, to be honest. Maybe the best puzzle adventure we've had in VR, honestly.
Yeah, even through the PSVR2 jank, even through all the things that I think were serious issues with it and probably remain as serious issues, you could tell there was something still very special there, that they retained the magic from the PSVR1 era. And that's why I don't want to keep going back to it every single time there's an update, right? Even now they're saying, hey, we've addressed some combat issues, we've addressed most of the bugs, but I'm not interested because there's already a blemish on my memory of this, and I don't want to taint that memory even further, right? I want the next time I get in there, I want it to be the final version, and I want it to be to bring back all the great memories that I had of it on PSVR1. So,
Honestly,
hoping
the combat that I experienced in it wasn't even really all that bad. Like I didn't think it was bad at all. I've certainly played worse. But talking to Looper about it during the episode, he had some compelling evidence that the combat systems in each kind of area or level are independent of one another. So you might get like some pretty decent combat in one, but then go into the next and then have it be completely terrible.
Yeah.
So I reserve judgment based on that.
Yep, and that's why I'll wait for the complete combat overhaul that they've been promising. Yeah, doesn't sound like we're there yet. Well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear that the Steam version had a better launch than the PSVR2 version, and sirens on my end. But hopefully it won't be too much longer before we get the next few updates. Wes, as we like to do so frequently on the show, we like to kick things off with a viewer takeover question. And if you want to know where you can leave your viewer takeover questions so that we'll find them and maybe read them on the show, click the link in the description below. Go join our Discord. Go over to the viewer takeover channel and leave your viewer takeover question there, just like the Boffin did. He writes #viewer takeover. Tomorrow, Sony announces PSVR 2 Pro. Big screen beyond 2, small form factor, pancake lenses, wireless play, 4K per eye screens. Let's assume PS5 could drive them at 90 native or 120 frames native. But it's $1,500. Would you buy it? And what is the most you'd be willing to pay for a PSVR 2 Pro, considering some of the pricey PC headsets on the market right now? You seem like the perfect co-host to answer this question, Wes.
No. No, I've always said that I would
Moving on.
never pay. I've always said I would never pay $1,000 for a headset, and despite some of the pricey PCVR headsets that have come along in my day, I have never dropped. I honestly, I think the most I've ever spent on a headset might be PSVR2. Honestly, like I don't spend a lot on these things. If there are other options, and certainly in this case there would be. $1,500 would be crazy, even if it were a big screen beyond style headset. But big screen beyond doesn't even cost $1,500 if I'm not mistaken. I would love to see a pro version, and if they could bring a version of PSVR2 along that had pancake lenses and had a wireless connection for like sub $800, I would consider it. Once you get up to 1,000 and beyond, like, no, no, I won't.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And I don't, I mean, I would like a pro version, I guess, right? I would like something that, kind of improves the form factor a little bit. I don't know if there's anything to do about like increasing the FOV further. I don't know if we want pancake lenses with the OLED panels. I am very happy with my PSVR2 headset currently. I would absolutely buy whatever they sell because, well, that's what I have to do. I run a channel about PSVR2, and so if the PSVR2 Pro dropped, I'd pass the collection plate around the Church of GameCat and ask for some donations because $1,500 is not something I could afford right now, or almost ever. So, but I would do it, man. I would do it. I'm just kind of happy with what we've got, right? Like I more than a new headset, I want to see what the PlayStation 6 does for PSVR 2. Right? Because it's all about the horsepower that's behind it. I've never cared about things being wireless. In fact, every single time I pick this fucking thing up, which by the way, Wes, I had to pick this fucking thing up the other day, and I played one of the craziest fucking games on it that you would just not believe.
Crazy good or crazy bad, or are you not sure?
Crazy good, and I can't talk about it. How insane is that? How much does that drive? Right? Like I can't talk about it. Oh, it just turned on by itself, by the way, because I mentioned it. I whispered too close to its ear, and it said, "Daddy, I'm awake."
Yeah, Meta said there's data to be collected there. Turn on.
Anyway, somebody, exactly. They're talking. Listen in. I was sent a preview build of a game saying, "Hey, do you think people on PSVR 2 would like this? Because if you think so, we'll bring it to PSVR 2." And I was like, "That's a lot of responsibility to put on me." And then I played it and immediately wrote to them, "Bring this to PSVR 2 as soon as possible." I mean,
tell them if they need a publisher. I know a guy.
Oh, well then, I will. I will put them in touch. Anyway, I'll say this, Wes. It made me really excited for the future of VR because, sometimes I think it's easy to get down on things and being like, "Man, is it 2017 again?" Right? Like, says you play some games and you're like, "This just feels like something that came out fucking forever ago, or should have come out forever ago." And then you play a game like I played, and I was like, "God damn, the future of VR is bright." So, patience. We'll be able to talk about it eventually.
That's good. That's good. It makes me happy to hear you say these things, even though I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, you have a clue, that's for sure.
Maybe.
Yeah, but but again, I picked this thing up and it wasn't charged, right? And I literally just used it a couple days before, and I'm like, what? It's so I don't know, man. Everything in my life needs to be charged. My phone needs to be charged. My Sense controllers need to be charged. Everything I own, I have to go replace remote control batteries for TVs way more frequently than I did a long time ago. So I just don't like. I don't know, man. Like I don't understand the appeal of wireless. I don't want to have to charge another thing.
You know what's funny? I use my Quest 3 pretty often. Not because I prefer it, but when I'm playing VR games, I'm typically playing a list, and some of them are PC, and some of them are Quest, and some of them are PlayStation. And when I'm playing games on my console, I don't want to switch my controllers back and forth and pair them to my PC and then pair them to console. So I just pick up my Quest and plug it into my computer. But even when I'm playing standalone Quest games, I just keep it plugged into the wall. Like I always have a wire on my Quest 3. I never play it with it wireless ever.
That's so good. That's so good. Because people jump up and down about things needing to be wireless.
Yeah, I know.
And I don't get it, man.
I play everything seated. I play everything seated anyway, so it really doesn't make any difference to me.
And I don't. Like I definitely play some stuff seated when I'm like, when I've been playing for hours and hours and hours and finally just need a break and sit down. But I would say 95% of the time I'm playing PSVR2 games. I'm playing standing up. We have analog sticks. I'm not running around the room, right? I'm not turning IRL. I'm a gamer. I turn with the sticks. I walk forward with the sticks. The wire is not in the way. So listen, so as far as I'm concerned, to answer the question, the wire doesn't bother me in the slightest. Like in the slightest. And in fact, I prefer there being a wire because the alternative is kind of a pain in the butt. And it's turning back on again.
Of course it is.
Comic book guy with the 5 quid says, I don't know much I don't know how much you both
I love you.
I don't know how to turn this off. I don't know how much you both follow flat screen stuff, but the PS5 has a power saver mode. So is it possible for VR games to be updated for it?
I don't understand the premise of the question.
I don't know how much you follow flat screen stuff, but the PS5 has a power saver mode. So is it possible for VR games to be updated for it? To be played in power save mode?
I would guess no, because if I'm conceptualizing what a power saver mode would be, it would be running maybe on lower settings, running the hardware like the processor at a lower clock speed, just trying to save power, save cooling, and all of that stuff. I have to imagine though that having a VR headset plugged into it and powered off of the console would completely just trash any kind of power saver mode that you would be running in. It probably honestly has to run in some sort of like optimized power mode just to be able to power the headset and run these like very intensive games anyway. So no, I would guess no, but I'm completely talking out of my ass because I don't understand any part of this question.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't either. I don't know anything about power save mode. I don't know how any things run in power save mode. Appreciate your support, comic book guy, as always. So I guess we're not the target demographic to be answering this. All right, Wes, we got a couple of things that we need to talk about before we get into our main story today. And the first is the announcement of a new PSVR2 game, and you might be familiar with this. Somebody on our Discord said this actually had a different name on other platforms, but it's called Sunstone of Time. Are you familiar with this?
Never heard that before, ever. No, I have no idea what that is.
All right. It seems to be a puzzle game, and that's all I know. I am going to bring up the page listing so that we can get a little bit more information. I'm glad it has full locomotion. That's all I'll say from the trailer, because this immediately brings to mind a game from the PSVR 1 era that I think, if I have the name correct, it's called Rengu. Do you remember Rengu on PSVR 1? Had the same, yeah, like these same kind of like, bright colors, ancient civilization, puzzle solving, and I was like, man, I just want to walk around this world. And so, this seems like it's doing something very, very similar, but at least you do get to walk around. And I think something like this with that, that's going to be on PSVR 2, that's so colorful. Games aren't that colorful anymore, Wes. Right? Like people are going for gritty realism, and but something like this, I think, will really pop with the OLED panels.
Co-developed, if Reddit is correct, co-developed by VR Kiwi and Jet Dogs, and that's VR Kiwi of Cave Digger fame and Jet Dogs of Towers and Powers fame.
Yeah. Always interesting, Wes, when we see a developer like this, like, well, I guess we'll go with the Towers and Power developer, just completely kind of go in a different direction, right? So very frequently developers will get known for a genre and stick with that and say, the last time we made our tower defense game, there were so many things we wanted to do, and we're going to do it with our next one, right? But then to just say, no, we're just going to do something completely different this time. It's like, all right, cool. I respect it. Here, is this? Do you think we should read this?
The press release. I don't know what was available on the store, but at least there's a little bit of information on here. I guess you have to have an account to get the assets, screenshots and stuff. But guess who has an account?
Yeah.
So just let me know if you want some. Looks like there's screenshots. Looks like there's a trailer. Yeah,
I've got the trailer running, but hold on 1 second. Let me see. Sunstone of Time. There we go. Let's just make it easy and check out the PlayStation Store listing so that we don't have to jump through any hoops here. And there it is. By the way, 2026. I love this. I love this so much because so frequently during this time of year, you'll hear about a new game and like, when's it coming out? Oh, tomorrow. In the slew of games that we are already trying to cover. Wonderful. That's so wonderful. This is 2026, and I'm so very happy about that.
Great.
Let's see what it says. A new destiny awaits. Step into the role of a brilliant young scientist whose fascination with ancient relics leads to an unexpected journey through history. Sunstone of Time is a historical VR odyssey where exploration, secret discovery, and intricate puzzle solving are your keys to survival in the vibrant world of the Aztecs and your only hope of returning home. I'm going to jump to the bullet points because I think it's probably the more interesting part. Experience rich mythology and rituals of the Aztecs up close. Explore stunning detailed temples, dungeons, and sacred sites. Solve clever puzzles and master ancient mechanisms. Interact with objects, combine them, and use them to overcome obstacles. Meet memorable characters and uncover their compelling stories. Unravel the sinister plans of a mighty high priest. Find the key. Dude, these are terrible bullet points. This is just basically telling us what happens in the game. Find the key to saving the world and returning home. Step into the past. Shape the future. Become the explorer of lost time.
It's a single-player, story-driven puzzle adventure.
Perfect.
With cartoony graphics, developed for all platforms, coming in spring.
I think this will be very nice. I think when this rolls around, it'll be a nice kind of palate cleanser. I think it'll be fun. Oh, bro, hold on. We might have some information here. Tatum just sent me a DM and explained stuff. How to use Power Saver games on PlayStation 5 consoles. You can turn on Power Saver for supported PS5 games, allowing performance to scale back as needed, reducing power consumption. And then there's a whole thing of like how to do it. Turn on Power Saver and select which games you want to use or you want to play using Power Saver. When playing a game with Power Saver turned on, the Power Saver icon appears next to the game. Let me ask you this. When my PlayStation 5 is turned on and I'm playing a game, I want that thing I want that thing going at full blast. I don't want it to be conserving power. I want it to be using all the power it possibly can in order to make my gameplay experience amazing. And I'm not trying to shit on the environment or anything else. But I'll just fucking turn my PlayStation 5 off when I'm not using it and I'll conserve power that way. This makes me nervous. It makes me nervous to be like, yeah, let's use power saving options when
It's reprojection. Let me spell it out for you. That's reprojection. That's medium graphic settings. That if there are any VR games that support this feature, that's what it's going to mean. It's going to mean scaling it back to bare minimums to to save a little bit of electricity.
well, fuck that.
Yeah, for real.
All right. Well, at least we got a little bit more information for you, comic book guy. That's. I don't want that. I don't want that. Nope. Just turn off the lights when you're not using them, and turn off the heat when you don't need it. There are other ways to conserve power. When you're using your PlayStation 5, I don't think that's the time to conserve power. But who knows? Maybe on the flat screen, it's not noticeable. And if it's not noticeable on the flat screen, then great. More power to you. I mean, less power to you.
Less power to you.
That's what we're going for. But yeah, people in the chat are all telling us you can't use it for VR games anyway. Perfect. Wes, do you know that a game dropped on the PlayStation Store yesterday called Baseball Dreams VR?
I had an idea that maybe it did, but I didn't know for sure until just now.
Yep, it sure did. And boy, am I here to tell you all about it, Wes. That's what we're doing. Oh, nope, Sunstone of Time. Just it really wants to be in front of our face here. Let's get rid of that. There it is. All right, here we go. Baseball Dreams VR, $25. Made by, ready for this, Bamboosoft, who made Dream Match Tennis VR on PSVR 1. Pretty good tennis game, Wes, but very basic. Right? You could tell it's like super indie. When Dream Match Tennis came out on PSVR 1, it felt kind of like a tech demo. It was single player only, and it was just like, okay, well, you nailed the physics, but like I want to play with somebody. Right? It felt lacking. And then a full year later, Bamboosoft added multiplayer support into their little budget tennis game, and it was pretty fucking good. All the characters in the tennis game were these floating robots because, less animation. You don't have to worry about the legs moving around the court. All sorts of reasons when you're making a cheap game that you want floating robots. Pretty much everything I'm saying right now pertains to Baseball Dreams VR. All the characters are floating robots, not a lot of animation going on, and it is technically very sound. The pitching feels really good. The batting feels really, really good. It's running at like maybe 90 native, or my guess is probably 120 native, honestly, because it's everything is super slick, super smooth, and it's running really high resolution. It kind of looks bland, right? Everything's a little bit flat, a little bit lifeless, but it's moving really fast, which I think is important for this game.
Yeah, of course.
And it's single player. I think that's again the big downfall. The single player, you're playing against the CPU, and that's it. So again, it feels like a tech demo, and it feels like they are saying, "Hey, look, we know how to make a baseball game." So my hope, Wes, is that they follow suit with what they did before, and in sometime in 2026. They get multiplayer into Baseball Dreams VR. And then it'll kind of be our first baseball game, right? Like we didn't have any baseball game on PSVR 1 other than like a home run derby.
Home run derby, yep, that's it.
Yeah. And there's a home run derby in Baseball Dreams VR. So look, it's everything you want.
How are the haptics and sound? Because I got to think that for a baseball game, that would be fairly important to feel the crack of the bat, and how was all that stuff?
Yeah, the crack of the bat, that sound effect is spot on. The haptic, there's so little haptics in this game. Like, great, can you imagine? There's just not a lot going on here. But the smack that you get with every hit, it feels good, and the crowd cheers. And sometimes you get the dun 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 dun, and then you get a little bit of that. There's no voiceovers, no one even yelling strike or out or anything. Do people yell ball? I don't know if they yell that. Ball.
I yell it randomly all the time.
Balls. So it's lacking, and all you're doing is pitching and batting. You're not the fielding takes care of itself. You know, it is
okay.
It is cool though, right? Like you are, you know, you're standing on the plate, you're sitting on the mound, and you're looking, and you're like keeping an eye on the guy in first base. And you're like, is that motherfucker about to steal? Right? And you can, you know, you can check him. There's using the left analog stick, you're basically deciding like what kind of pitch you're throwing, and then you're, you know, throwing with your. It feels good. It feels good to pitch. It feels good when you're up at bat. It all feels good. But it's like I feel it's kind of like they forgot to make the rest of the game.
So can you if a guy is like getting a lead off of first base, can you throw over there and try to pick him off?
Yep.
That is. You can't balk though, right? Because you can't like step off of the mound. You have no legs.
Right. Yeah. So it's essentially when you're doing that, you're just like holding the analog stick left, I think, and then hitting the X button, I think, and it's just sort of like, and then that animation carries out. I'm trying to think. There was some other stuff here that like I wanted to point out to people. There's no real campaign either. Right, there's like some challenges you can knock out, like some different teams that they want you to beat, and then you get a gold medal for that, and that's how you get the trophies. There is a platinum trophy for anyone interested, you know, and then there's some challenges like a pitching challenge where you try to like hit all of these different squares, and then the home run derby. All the basics are there. They just need to flesh it out with an actual campaign mode. They need to flesh it out with multiplayer. And so because of that, the $25 price tag just seems like too much right now, Wes. It seems like this should be a $15 game, $10 game. Bump that shit up to $25 when you get the campaign and the multiplayer in there. But
I think it's kind of crazy that here we are. We're nearly 10 years into consumer VR, and developers still have not figured out sports games. Not just baseball, but like sports games. And then the closest attempt that I've seen is, you know, NFL Pro era on Quest. That is still just kind of a piece of the game. It isn't really like the full on experience. Honestly, I would like to see like just seated, you know, controller based versions of like the popular flat sports games. That's like everything's in front, like you're on the field and you can see everything, but you're not the player. It's third person, right? You're just floating above the player and playing, because I think that's compelling for people that enjoy those types of games. And I think we would have sold a lot of headsets had they done this 6 or 7 years ago.
Remember the soccer game on PSVR1 where you moved your feet with the Move controllers? Like that's how you ran. You did this, and then you went like, to kick the ball. It was so awkward, but it was, you know, it was still the only game that's ever tried it. You got to admire them to try things like that.
The Drunk Gamer has a good point. 2 Minute Drill was pretty good too. The football game.
Oh, 2MD. Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's just I will say this. My Brian bite for this is coming out tonight or tomorrow. I can't remember. Who can keep up?
Looper in the chat says that Headmaster was great, and I got to admit, when we were having such a great time in Rush earlier, all that I was thinking when I heard Looper going on and on about nostalgia for the old games and how it instantly came back, all I was thinking through the whole thing is, God, I wish that they would just bring Headmaster to PSVR2 with the headset haptics. It would be so perfect, and I love that game. It's so fun.
Agreed. And that's why Sony needs to get off their ass and start funding these indie studios again, right? You've got to really, it seems like you've got to be at like a real certain level for Sony to take any kind of interest in what you're doing, right? You got to be the Skydances out there. You got to be creating these, what they call AAA VR games. You got to be the Vertigos of the world, right? But if you're the Frame Interactives of the world making Headmaster, you're not getting funded by Sony, like, right? But yet in 2015, 2014, Sony was courting these people, saying, we want you there for the PSVR 1 launch. We want to send you a dev kit. We want you on the demo disc. And that's just not happening right now, right? So it's a real bummer. Uh, what really bums me out, though, Wes, is that Sony San Diego fucking makes a baseball game. They make MLB The Show. They've been making this game for so long. And then Bimbusoft comes along and says, hey guys, this is how you do this in VR, right? They've created a tech demo that says, even if you only gave the player control of these two elements during MLB The Show, the pitching and the batting, and that is it. Look how great it is. Look how much fun it is. Bro, I'm basically telling people like, it's not great, but it's fun. Right? Even the tech demo-y Baseball Dreams VR is fun because you get to kind of feel like you're playing the sport. So I don't know.
Yeah, the concept would work. If there was enough budget behind it to kind of fill in the gaps with, all of the animations and the bells and the whistles, and if you were to get pro licensing so people can step into the shoes of their favorite players, like it could definitely work.
Oh, there's only one stadium in this as well, just FYI.
Right.
Like again, right? They give you different times of day to pick from, but again, it's give us 20 stadiums. I don't care if you don't have like the license, the MLB license. It's fine. But give us stadiums, even generic stadiums, 20 different ones that look similar to ones that you couldn't license. Fine. You gotta give us something. Give us something. Anyway. That's that. All right. Wes, it's time to move on to talk about the reason people are here. And shout out to the binary mill, because the binary mill came through with a bunch of keys so that we could play Rush VR Apex Edition on PSVR2 today and talk about it on the show today.
Yep.
And let me tell you, man, I was a little bit concerned. When I first said, hey, we got to play this thing before GAMESCAST, I thought it was going to be you and me and like 10 CPU players, right? And we did pretty good, man. What do we have, like 10 people in the lobby?
Well, we had at least 8. I think in theory there might have been more, but we couldn't tell because the voice chat only supported 8. So
That's right. I forgot.
but
Okay.
it seemed full.
Bro, where the hell did I export? Oh no.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hold on.
Could you grab a thumb drive really quick, Brian?
Is this
So people can see me crash into the rocks over and over again?
I found it. I just called it the wrong thing. Oh my God. I always call the stuff for GAMESCAST the same thing, so I can always search it. Nope. I was in too much of a rush. That's crazy. Bro, like you were saying, man, Looper definitely called it when we were in there, and he was just like, man, this game has made me so nostalgic for the PSVR 1 days, and it is. He's so right. If you played Rush on PSVR 1, then you probably remember like having fun with this game and saying, oh man, wingsuit racing in VR. Like this is what VR's for. Like to be able to do these things that are just, really tough to do or that you can't do in real life or whatever. And it's like, why don't we have more of this kind of stuff? And I don't know, man, like maybe I just am misremembering the PSVR 1 days, but I'm having way more fun and having way more of a blast with the PSVR 2 version than I ever did on PSVR 1. It's so good.
It is great, and I wouldn't say that I'm having more fun with it now. Like it's easy to forget how much fun you were having with it before, but I remember always loving this game, and I remember how happy I was when they added new content into it. After it being on the store for some time, way back when, and now here it is again, and like as beautiful as ever, and certainly as fun and addictive as ever. Like I alluded to at the top of the show, like I wasn't doing well on it. I didn't practice before we got in there. Like I got in and played it right away. And I think I only finished maybe 3 times out of all those times we played. But I wanted to keep trying. It was fun every time. a little frustrated that I couldn't switch up movement control options on the fly. You have
Okay.
to do that from like the main menu. And after you get into a multiplayer match, you just go from race to race to race. And if you can bring up the options menu, I wasn't able to do it. So I was kind of stuck in the default one, which has its pluses and minuses. But still, just constant fun the whole time we played. Played for over an hour and did not want to stop.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, nobody wanted to stop. Everybody kept saying one more, one more, one more. Like this was the epitome of like that game. That we it's the thing everybody always says. Oh, just the kind of game you want to play just one more time, one more time, one more time. And especially when you have such a great group, that many people in there. Dude, the fact that it has proximity chat, like in-game proximity chat for all of those people, right? So we're flying down, as you can see, and like people, and I can kind of get a pretty good idea of how far people are away from me from the sound of their voice. I kind of have an idea if they're on the left side of me or right side of me, how far away they are from me. And then my favorite is when somebody switches from like mid-sentence, from sounding like they're pretty close to me to suddenly being on the radio. And I'm like, you just crashed, didn't you? Right? Because if you crash, you just have to wait at base camp at the end of the race for everyone to show up. It's just looking through this footage to clip out a bunch of different races and footage for people to see. We were just laughing constantly.
Yeah,
we were laughing constantly. And obviously when you get 8 people, like everyone's yelling and screaming, and like, if somebody's going to crash into a mountain, you're about to hear it, right? Because they're like, oh, like, fuck,
wall, tree.
Right. Oh man. And I think it's a good remaster. First of all, they're only charging $20, which is insane. What an amazing value. $20 is an awesome price for this. It's got all the maps from the PSVR1 version. Everything looks better, obviously. Instead of just having like flat ground texture, now there's some grass up there and everything. It's not a complete remake, right? But it's exactly what you would hope for from a remaster, right? You can tell they're using DFR, and so everything looks sharp enough. It's not razor sharp, but it's sharp enough. And I was on the Pro. And so this was running at 120 native for me, and so everything felt fast and very, very fluid.
Yeah, it felt fluid for me too. I'm not on the Pro, but yeah, everything felt like super smooth. With it, again, a bit of a learning curve with the control scheme. So essentially, there are 3 control schemes. One of them is controller based, and basically where you hold your controllers relative to your headset decides where you're going to be steered. The other ones are headset based. One of them is just completely like turning your head up and down, left and right. And then there's a third one that lets you kind of, instead of turning your head, tilt your head to go left and right. All of them had advantages and disadvantages. In a perfect world, I would like it if the headset could control up and down while the controllers control left and right. So I don't know where I'm going to land at yet. I'm going to practice with kind of both of them and decide where I fit best. But fun and easy to pick up no matter which one that you play under, and easy to get into, super easy to learn. And then the matches are like 2 minutes. So like, it's a game that you can play for 2 hours. It's a game that you can play for 10 minutes and have a blast no matter what. And I don't think we have a lot of those games like that in the catalog that you can just play for a few minutes and get out. And I think that's a lot to do with why it was so addictive, right? Because going one more time is what, 5 minutes tops, from base camp to base camp,
Yeah. Shout out to Emmanuel Bose, who sent 1 without Parole gift membership. Thank you so much for your generosity. Izzard in the chat, who we played with, said the 2D footage does not convey the stomach-dropping verticality of it. And he is absolutely right. There was actually a couple times where you load into the race and you're standing at the ledge right? You got all these people, 12 people, standing on the ledge, ready to, for the countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then dive off. And man, but when you spawn in on that ledge, sometimes you're just not ready for it. And you're like, this is a steep ass drop. So it's thrilling. And as you're saying, like it's easy to learn, but the premise of the game is that you're trying to fill that boost meter the entire time. When you get really good at this game, you're just going to be focusing on building that boost meter so that you're constantly boosting, right? Going through checkpoints adds to the boost meter. But more importantly than that, like kind of skimming walls and getting really close to the ground. All of that. It's like Burnout, the racing game. When you race on the wrong side of the road, or you have close calls with other vehicles, and that builds your meter. It's the exact same thing here, and so the more dangerously you fly, the more potential you have to just fucking get right out in front of everybody. But it's that risk reward thing. The closer you are to the ground, the closer you are to the walls, the more likely it is you're going to slam into them. And so it's just thrilling, and Yeah, Izzer said, this is making me want to play some more. I'm with you, man. I only stopped so I could get GamesCast together. I definitely want to play more.
Yeah, for sure. And as fun as this is, but with other players, it's kind of the no-brainer.
Yeah.
You don't get a whole lot of games that you can get in too quickly with 8 people and have this much fun. There's a lot to be said for single player as well, which I didn't get to spend a lot of time with, but just from memory, I know that, unlocking tracks, is fun in this game. And there's so many of them. There's like dozens of tracks across a handful of different environments. And, that's what you're doing in single player is you're going through and basically leveling up so that you can unlock more tracks and more tracks and more tracks. And they're absolutely beautiful in this headset. So I look forward to spending some time by myself in there and getting good, and then coming back and destroying everyone in a day or two.
Yeah. It's still, we still get a little time before it launches. I think it's launches on the 5th. I think it's Horizon right on the 4th, and this on the 5th, if I got that right. And so I know that you didn't feel any of the headset haptics, Wes, so we're going to make sure that that's an actual bug. But I will say I loved feeling the headset haptics. It's the kind of thing that when you use the boost meter, it's like they're using the lowest setting on the headset rumble. So it's like at the boom, boom, boom. You can almost feel the motor turning really slowly instead of the heavy vibration that it does. And so it really does simulate the effect of wind blowing against your helmet really well. And then there's a stage where it's thundering and lightning, and so a second after you see the lightning, then you feel the thunder in the headset, and it's like it feels really good. And apparently they're working on bHaptic support, so that'll be even better.
That would be great. bHaptics would be great. Turning up the headset rumble would be great. I will say that the controller haptics are already great, and only thing I really noticed them on was enabling the boost meter. But it's really cool because from the time that you enable it to the time that it runs out, the sensation changes, and you might feel it be very heavy in your palms for a moment, but by the time it runs out, it kind of runs up your hand and then into your fingertips, and then you feel it in the triggers last, which was a really cool effect.
Yeah, I just love that they utilize adaptive trigger stuff for like everything. Like even just to activate the boost, those adaptive triggers are in full force right there. So it feels like you're not just pulling the triggers and being like, oh, good, I activated it. Yeah, it's like it's like you've done something, and it feels impactful. Yeah, man. And then and I guess this is probably information for people who've never played Rush, but it's kind of the perfect social multiplayer game, because when you're in a lobby, you're waiting for people to show up, there's just so much to fuck around with, right? They give you these little Nerf guns to shoot these darts at people, and if you shoot them in the face, you can actually you'll see them on your visor, right? It's just like a fucking
you can blind people like
you can blind people. Yeah. Yep. You shake up some soda cans, crack them open, and let them fly around the plane.
Just don't try to grab the basketball too many times. you might accidentally click the wrong button.
Oh God, this is great, man. This is great, and this sort of just reminds me of like all the games that haven't quite made it over to PSVR2 yet. Some of them may never, and some of them may, but of all the binary mill games of all their games, I mean this. If you liked Resist and you like that feeling of flying around the city, I feel like Gun Club VR because it's just the fidelity was great. If you like it, these guys just know how to make a fun game, and like I said, just laughing, listening to everybody yelling and screaming and having a blast on this footage that I'm playing right now. It's it's kind of the best. I think it's probably the best racing game we've got, and that's a weird thing to say, right? With Gran Turismo out there, but for Gran Turismo is a simulation. It's gonna turn people off. It's a big game. There's a lot to learn about it. This, like you said, you jump in and you have fun immediately.
Yeah, we need more arcade racers on PlayStation VR2.
Yes, we do. Like Burnout. I'll take that. Dude, oh my God, I completely forgot. This is even darker on the footage. The track that we're on right now is like we all started and we're like, can't see anything. There, you can actually see just a little hint of everything. Like it's not unplayable like it looks now. But I was literally following Dee's trail at one point just because I'm like, I think this is the only thing I can see. And then throughout the course of the course, the sun comes up and everything illuminates, and it's very cool.
I died before then. It sent me to base camp and it was stayed dark the whole time.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway, I'm gonna be playing a whole lot of this over the next week, and then long after that as well. I'm sure. I think it was Nihilus Ryan in the chat who said this is a perfect candidate for Sunday multiplayer meetups or the Saturday multiplayer meetups. Yep. And so, like again, I've said this before on the channel when the Binary Mill first announced Apex Edition, this PSVR2 currently exclusive version of the game. They uploaded their trailer, and a couple hours after they uploaded, I saw that it had like 70 views, 72 views, something like that. And I was like, "Oh, I better re-upload this one without Parole just to help signal boost a little bit." And then, what are we a month or two out from when I re-uploaded it, and it's only got a couple thousand views. So I'm a little bit concerned, right? Like it is a game that everybody should be interested in playing. It is so much fun. It is a blast. It is the right price point. It looks good in the headset. It feels good in the headset. Ace Gamer says Rush looks smooth. Is it polished? Yeah, pretty polished. Pretty polished. I mean, like I think it's polished where it counts, and that's in the racing. You can probably find little jank here and there outside of the racing, but while you're racing, it just feels so good. Like this is a game that I hope especially when they price it this way, right? It's packed with all the content from the PSVR1 version, all the DLC that came out later. $20. Let's support these guys.
Yeah, it's such a great game, and one that I'm sure we'll be playing years from now. This is one of those.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we today we are playing it years later, so that should tell you something.
Just checking out the chat, seeing what everyone's saying.
People are saying that they need Wipeout. I see.
Yeah. VR Resistance saying just because you're a hater doesn't mean others won't like Gran Turismo. I love Gran Turismo, but man, it takes a minute to get into that. That is not a pick up and play game. Not really. But
Old Earth wants to know if the sense of speed is greater than the PSVR1 version. Maybe slightly, just due to just the enhanced everything, right? Enhanced vision and enhanced haptics. Tempest 3D audio tech, if you want to claim that. But I mean, it always felt like fast, and it just depends on how close you get to the ground. It feels slow if you can't get close to the ground, but if you get close to the ground, it feels way too fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And of course, when you're weaving, in and out of these gorges, right? It's just like these really narrow areas. It's gonna feel really fast, really intense. And like Resist, running at 90 frames native, it makes it feel fast from a technical standpoint, right? This was clearly running at 60 reprojected on PSVR 1. So I think if I was to compare them back to back, absolutely this would feel faster. Just from maybe the game's not moving faster, but in my head it's processing it as we're moving faster. And then just like Resist on the PSVR PlayStation 5 Pro, it's running at 120 native, and like that's I don't normally go to bat too much for the difference between 90 native and 120 native, because if you're just walking around in like genotype or something like that, right? Like, are you really gonna feel the difference? Like, I don't know if Bulwark Games needed to make genotype 120 native, right? Because you're not going to really feel the difference. You're just walking around shooting things. But when you're flying through the city like in Resist, or you're blasting through these maps with wingsuits, you're going to feel a difference. And you may not see it with your eyes, but you're going to feel it in your stomach. And I love that. So yeah, highly recommended. Another reason to own the Pro, by the way.
That's up to what, 7 or 8 now?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, there's not a ton of amazing reasons to get a Pro, but if you got one, you're gonna find some good reasons here and there. Comic book guy with the 5 quid says, I was just reading through the blog post for Resident Evil 9 as pre-orders have gone live. Pre-orders have gone live now, and they mention the Resident Evil 7 PSVR mode in the kitchen demo. What? Why would they bring that up? Why would they bring that up?
Oh, let's speculate and read way too much into it, Brian. Please, let's do it.
Can we please? Awesome. Here we go. I'm just going to bring this up right here. I don't even know what this window's open for. Here, let's go back to this full screen. And then we'll bring up the blog post. That's crazy. It's pretty crazy that they brought up VR when talking about Resident Evil 9 for no reason, right? Let's look through this and then determine whether they're just fucking with us. Prepare for Resident Evil Requiem with a story recap from Capcom. From Andy Wong, Senior Manager, Social Media and Community, Capcom. How long is this article? I don't want to read the whole thing if it's like...
Go down to the section that is labeled a Resident Evil series history, because I'm pretty sure it's going to fall in there somewhere.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff before it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so Resident Evil series history, as you said, Wes. Talking about the Requiem pre-orders, and then saying Resident Evil was released on PlayStation 1996. Next entry was Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. Blah, 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 blah. Resident Evil 4 was brought to PlayStation 2 in 2005. Moving forward in time, Resident Evil 7. I love that they don't talk about 5 and 6. Great. You shouldn't. Moving forward in time, Resident Evil 7's first demo was a timed PlayStation exclusive, and the kitchen demo was released separately on PSVR. This entry introduced Ethan Winters in the first-person perspective to the series. You could even play the entire game in PSVR as Ethan searched for his wife, Mia. That's all they say about VR. But it is awesome that they brought it up, because they didn't have to bring it up. Right? This is a very brief history, such a brief history of Resident Evil that they didn't even talk about 5 and 6. But yet they stopped and talked about the VR demo, the kitchen demo, and then the VR version of 7. This is not that long of an article.
No, they didn't talk about PSVR 2 on 8 or 4. But that's okay. Who's counting?
What are you trying to ruin my good time over here? That's true.
It's coming. We've talked about this a number of different times. I have almost complete confidence that we will get this game in VR.
Yeah. Yep. 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 I am with you. That is definitely how I'm feeling as well. Oh, by the way, Wes, when we get to it, it is your turn for the 4-minute challenge. So heads up if you want to look for a game. Yeah, I think this is going to be. I think Sony's been pretty good about making sure that we always have some big game to look forward to at on PSVR2. With that current game being Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. So, I've gone back and forth on when I think that they'll reveal the VR mode for Requiem, but I still think it's going to happen before the new year. Not everybody agrees with me. Ain't that right, Tatum? Ain't that right? But I don't care as long as they announce it at some point. Here, I got to go back to the screen over here. There we go. Thanks for the heads up on that comic book guy. Appreciate it. And thanks for the tip. Chief Sits on Bull, the not saying a goddamn word game cat with the $10 tip. Thank you for your donation. Says, I'm a bit late, but for a PSVR2 Pro headset sold standalone minus $250 Sense controllers that feature HDR OLED screens with higher resolution, PPD, and I can't pronounce that word, asphaltetrical lenses. Do you know what that means, Wes? Because I don't.
I'm not reading, but you're talking about aspherical lenses?
Maybe that's not the. Yeah,
What are you reading from right now?
From the most recent tip.
Okay, I'm a bit late, but for a PSVR 2 Pro headset standalone, minus $250 Sense controllers that features HDR OLED screens with higher resolutions, pixels per degree, and is spherical lenses or asphalt edrical lenses and slightly better field of view. I'd pay $600. So, if I'm reading this correctly, I think he means spherical lenses. And what spherical lenses are basically like the PSVR 1 had, those big, thick, heavy glass lenses that are crystal clear. I don't know why someone would want that. I mean, they do have good clarity. But I suppose the idea here is that it would be better to have those than to have the lenses that we have now with the rings in them. I don't know why. But yeah, HDR OLED is what we have now in the headset right now. And we have pretty good, like, high resolution and pixels per degree. So I guess essentially the headset that he's talking about is just a slightly better version of what we have right now. And it's about the same price of what we paid for what we have right now. So, like,
right.
Yeah, I guess I agree because I pretty much did pay that already for that.
Somebody posted over on our Discord that PlayStation Asia tweeted about a price reduction during that starting October 31st for some PlayStation accessories, including PSVR 2. It seemed like they were cutting the price for a limited time by 20%, and I really hope that Sony America does that as well, because man, they've already gotten the price down to what, $350, I think. And then you bring that down to 20%, and you get it under the $300 price point, and that is the magical price point.
Is that the MSRP now? Is $350? I thought it was more than that.
Is it $450? I can't remember.
It went on sale. It went on sale for like $350. I want to say.
Yeah,
but I didn't think that was permanent.
Yep, you're testing my memory now, which is never a good thing. Let's see.
A minute, I'll tell you.
Over on Amazon, you get the Call of the Mountain bundle for $400 $399.99.
$390 for that bundle at Walmart right now.
And so, what is the is it going is because so frequently when it goes on sale, the base and the Horizon bundle go on sale for the same price. So I guess my question is what does it go for without Horizon? Is it actually $350?
Good question. You can get them for $279.99 refurbished at GameStop.
Ooh. So is anybody in chat now?
Looks like the bundle might actually cost more, or the non-bundle might cost more at Walmart.
I wonder if they're just trying to get rid of the standalone one, and just sell it with Horizon, like just force people to play Horizon. We're gonna package this in with every single
It's funny.
PSVR2.
You go to Walmart and you put PSVR2 into the search bar and hit search. You know what the first thing that pops up is?
What?
MetaQuest 3S.
Yep. That is. Oh, you know what? That didn't happen on Amazon. Usually it does. All right. Maybe Meta stopped advertising on Amazon. Maybe that's what happened. But anyway, so we could be looking at a temporary price cut for PSVR 2 coming up soon. If you're on, if you somehow you're watching this and you haven't bought one, or you're thinking about buying another one because when you found out how expensive a new set of Sense controllers was going to be, you decided I'll just buy another fucking headset because it's almost the same price. Hold out for a little bit longer and you should be able to get one soon.
I got Gunstocks on Walmart. Can you believe that?
Wow. Walmart, why looking through the Walmart website always confuses me because it's not always clear what's coming to you from Walmart and what's coming to you from like a seller at Walmart. My bet would be the Gunstocks are from a seller.
Yeah, most likely. Speaking of Gunstocks, ProTube looks like they've made now a haptic gunstock for PSVR 2, which these things are amazing. They have like really heavy haptics in. I don't know about the one for PSVR 2, but the one that they did for Quest were like pretty incredible. Expensive, but incredible. But I saw this on social media the other day, and I thought about reaching out and asking for a review sample, but then it occurred to me that they sent us one last time when they did a Gunstock, and I don't think any of us did a video on it, so they might not want to talk to us.
I'm making an accessory video, Wes.
Yeah, me too.
I never promised anyone when it would be done, but it would be really nice to get a jump on that after this slew of games. And then I could take a couple weeks off at the beginning of January, and when I come back, I can come back and do a accessory video. That's the
So the least I can do is shout them out right now for putting out the haptic gunstock. For what it's worth, this is something that does add a lot to the experience, even if it does cost a lot of money to get one.
Excuse me, I don't mean to yawn. I'm tired. Sorry, I couldn't hold that one back. All right, man. Let's. You want to do a 4-minute challenge? We can wrap this thing up.
Sure. Let's do one.
Nice. All right. Well, you guys know how this works. Wes has picked out a PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 game, and it's up to us and me. We got to figure out what game that is. We've got an infinite number of yes or no questions to ask, but only 4 minutes to ask them in. So make sure you ask good questions in the chat, and based on the answers we get, suggest good games that it might be. The winning streak is 0. AJ did not get Monday's game. So there's no pressure. I can continue the losing streak and not feel bad. All right, dude, let's do this. Ready, chat? Ready? On your mark, get Des. Go. Is it on PSVR 1?
No.
Okay. Ooh, PSVR 2 game. Holy crap. Is it on other headsets other than PSVR 2?
No.
Only on PSVR 2. Is it a Halloweeny game?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I would say yes to that.
Are you in a roller coaster cart?
You are not in a roller coaster,
No.
not to my knowledge. I haven't finished the game. Maybe you end up in one, but
There go Switchback, you guys. Um, does it take place around roller coasters, or a place that you would expect to find roller coasters?
no, no, I wouldn't expect that here.
All right, there goes Happy Funland. All right, it's spooky. It's an exclusive. Oh, is this a really independent game? Really indie?
Yeah, I would call it indie for sure.
Is it related to another VR game?
Yeah, I would say that it could be considered related to another game. Yeah.
Does it share a name with a scary movie? Share its name with a scary movie?
Think so, yeah. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe so.
Is it from Creative 3D VR?
How the fuck, dude? Yes, of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, fucking, it wasn't me. That's for sure. Is it Get Out? Not a very bad dream story. Get Out. Do not open. No. Yeah, yeah. Very bad dream story. That's it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
That's the one. Get Out. A very bad dreams story. Did Looper sell me out here on this one? He probably did, didn't
So somebody sold you out like within the first 5 seconds. It
he? It
was
was definitely Looper.
um
Looper, you got to start holding your tongue when I pick games that we just covered within a couple of days ago. He knew exactly where I was going with it for that reason.
It's so good. Get Out's pretty good, man. Get Out's pretty good.
Yeah,
These guys just know how. These guys are not afraid to be creative, and the fact is that your hands are tied at the beginning of this game, or are you in a straitjacket? Is that what it is? And like you literally
yeah.
have to walk around smashing things with your head. I love that. I've never seen that in VR before. These guys are definitely creative.
You know what I love about this is, and I said this on Sunday when we were talking about it. Very seldom do you see studios that make a horror game actually go for it and put some really bad, horrific shit in the games. It's like really stuff that just would tear your soul out in real life and make you a shell of a person. Um, they have no issues with that here. Like this game kicks off with your wife and child being burned alive in a house. Like, yes, that's horror. That is something that would fuck you up for life and keep you in the insane asylum, which is where your character essentially begins. So, yeah, shout out Creative 3D VR or whatever their name is.
Yeah, I can never
This
remember
is
if
the
it's
crazy
creative.
edition though. They call it the crazy edition. I wonder what the other editions would be.
The crazy edition. Like the title needed
Yeah,
to be longer.
if you go into the PlayStation Store and there's a drop down at the bottom that says which version you want, and there's only one version. It's the Crazy Edition.
You got to remember, Wes. These are the same people that, after releasing Darkness Roller Coaster,
Yes,
proceeded
that's
to
a good
then
point.
release 10 versions of Darkness Roller Coaster that were all the same. Akimbo Edition, Devil Edition. I don't even know what they were called. It was just
A bunch
it
of
was
them. Yeah,
right. But I think was it the fact that since there was a new edition, it counted as a new game, and then that kind of bumped their game up to the top of the PlayStation Store again as a new release. I think that was their ploy, and maybe it
yep,
worked. Yep.
maybe. You know, I never played that game just because you guys shit on it so hard, and I thought it looked good from like the trailers and all the footage that you see of it. It looks fun. But I took your word for it and never tried it, not once.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't miss anything. Although, although I heard that it was really good on PSVR too, or maybe let me roll that back. I heard that the PSVR2 version is the best version of it.
Yeah, maybe I should reach out for a key and see if it's any good.
You have access to my PlayStation. Just
Oh, that's true. I can just
yeah,
do that.
yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. You got any? This I can't believe it. Man. I cannot believe it is the 29th of October. And I'm so bogged down with, I'm so bogged down with the games that I'm playing for review, scripting those reviews, voicing those reviews, editing those reviews. I mean, like every review is, just takes days and days for me to do, and I don't have days and days to do all these reviews. I've just got to be on top of these things and blast through them, which means that for the first time in a while, I basically have to sacrifice Halloween in order to be able to, I'm not going to be doing any horror live streams, I don't think. I'm just going to have to just be working around the clock in order to get all these reviews out. And some of them will be Brian Bites, of course, just to, keep me from going crazy. Hopefully that is not the situation you're in. Do you have any plans for Halloween?
For Halloween, no, I'll be playing through games to that we're going to be talking about on Sunday. Honestly, is what I'm going to be doing. Luckily, I had a chance to play a good handful of horror games this past week for the last show that we did. Speaking of which, Brian, if there were a very good horror escape room on the MetaQuest 3 headset, that was really unique and different from anything else in the entire VR catalog, and I gifted it to you, would you play it?
Is it another room?
No, it's better than that game.
I mean, is it okay if I play it during my 2 weeks off that I'm taking in January?
You can play it whenever you want. I'll buy it for you right now if you play it.
Yes, then I will play. I will play it in January, because if it's not on PSVR2, I told you about the reason I had to use my Quest yesterday, right? I only stopped and did it as a favor to a developer. And the whole time I was thinking to myself, this is not on PSVR2 right now. Like, I don't have time to be doing this, right? And so, like, I'm really not playing any flat screen stuff. I'm really not. I'm definitely not playing any Quest stuff. I'm only playing things for review. And it is work 24/7. So yeah, I'm super down to play it. Are you telling me what it is, or is it going to be a surprise?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you what it is, because this game, honestly, we'll probably be covering it around the time that you play it anyway, because I have a feeling it's going to win some awards on our channel this year. The game's called Dark Trip. It's an indie game. It's still in early access. It's episodic. It's an escape room game, but the main themes of the game are like BDSM and psychedelic drug use.
Ooh.
And it's really good. Like, graphically, it doesn't look like a Quest game. It looks like a proper PC VR game, and the puzzles are good, and like everything is good about it. Like, it's great. And it's on sale for like $3 right now. So I thought, like, dude, I need to buy this for Brian, and who else can I buy it for? And so yeah, if you'll play it, I'll definitely pick a copy of it up for you right now.
Yeah, man, that sounds good. We got to get these guys to bring it over to PSVR too. And then it'll end up like all the other PSVR2 games that I downloaded first on Quest and be completely
Honestly,
I
I don't know that Sony would allow this game on their platform.
Come on, really?
I'm serious.
Really? I mean, listen, we've gotten a lot of weird games. I know that sometimes Sony, like, pulls out the censor hammer, but very seldom.
They do. I know the stuff in this game are worse than the things that they've banned from Postal, for example. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, you suddenly got me more interested than I was before.
Yeah. So this guy, he struggled to get it on Steam, and Steam lets fucking anything up.
You had me at BDSM.
I thought I might.
I'm nothing if not predictable. All right, you guys. Thank you all so much for. Hold on a second. Hold on. Thank you very much, GameCat Andrew Ehrenreich, for the $4 coffee. I appreciate that. Can I heart that? I can't seem to heart it. You won't let me heart it. Okay, I can't heart it. Okay, stop it, YouTube. I'm going to hurt you, YouTube. We get the NES rookie with the level 2 membership. Says, been away for a long time for a bunch of reasons, but slowly catching up. Love the shows and happy to be watching live again. NES rookie, it's good to see your name again. Thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
There we go. To the same old place that we laughed about. I don't know. The names have all changed since you've come around. Dreams have something since you turn around. Who would thought they'd lead you? Who would thought they'd lead you back here where they need you? Well, we tease them a lot because we got them on the spot. Welcome back.
Come back.
Here I was like, I don't remember the words.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the words.
Used to be my favorite show, man. Welcome back. Kater was one of my favorite shows back in the day.
Kater. Mr. Kater.
All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out. And thank you, everybody. If you support the channel financially, whether it be over on patreon.com/withoutparole or by being a member over here or by tipping during the show, we appreciate you oh so very much. You're keeping the lights on, but even if you don't tip, even if you don't contribute, it's fine. We're just happy that you're here. The greatest community of all time. Save your money. Go buy fucking Rush when it comes out. I don't know. Thanks for being here. Even if you don't say anything, we know you're here. We love you just as much. Happy Wednesday, Wes.
Happy Wednesday, cats. See you soon. See you on Sunday, and then see you again on PSVR2 day.
Today. Not today. Later.
Today.
Let's go. Man, we already have PSVR this week, but man, if I had like a team of editors and shit, we could do a weekly show called PSVR2 Day.
Yeah, PSVR2 day.
That wouldn't be confusing at all.
How are we just thinking of this now?
I love it. It'd be a big thing's a real bitch when PSVR 3 comes along though. We'd have to be like, oh, what's new in PSVR 3 day today? Oh fuck, just doesn't roll off the tongue like PSVR today did. Oh shoot, I didn't. We got to check out what happened this week in Without Parole history, Wes. But of course, I didn't prepare for this because we were too busy playing Rush. So let's see what we find here. Let's see what's happening on Halloween week. All these years ago, as soon as my backup hard drive gets caught up. Anytime now.
Come back.
Okay, we got wow. Apparently, Wes, we find ourselves in very similar situations every time around this year. We're about to get our asses kicked by all the new games, but don't have a whole lot to talk about. For example, back in... They're all the same, man. Every single year is the same. So let's just go 2 years ago. This is Halloween on October. It's 2023. Here it is. This is a pretty good thumbnail, I gotta say though. We got Freddy Fazbear in there. We got Resident Evil 7 in there. We got a jack-o'-lantern. Movies, games. It's our Halloween special. Also, the Foglands, Vampire the Masquerade Justice, and more.
But it's all right though, Brian. They're gonna fix it, right?
The Foglands.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the word, right? Remember they were going to fix it. Did they
I
ever
remember
fix
the
it?
word. I remember the word being the guy in the interview saying, uh, we envision this as the indie Half-Life Alex, which nothing could have been further from the truth.
We haven't had that one yet, but tune in next week.
Dude, next week. Why? Oh, geez, you're really setting people up to be let down. Why do you build me up? There's in fact, the Foglands is the reason that I stopped doing so many developer interviews, right? Because we're just basically lied to for 45 minutes. I hadn't played the game yet, and I just had to go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that sounds really great. Awesome. And then a bunch of people bought the game based on that interview. And then we're very disappointed.
It's your fault. Yeah.
It felt like it, like, and some people made it sound like it was. And so now if I do developer interviews, which by the way, there is one coming up very, very soon. I have to play the game first. That's the rule. I have to play the game first. So stay tuned.
Let me ask you, in this next developer interview, is the developer on there talking about how this is the indie Half-Life Alex?
No, but they could have.
Right.
They should have. Somehow Half-Life Alex didn't come up even once during the conversation. And probably for the best. All right.
It's one of those things like, never mind. Go ahead. Bye.
No. Now I want to know what you were going to say.
It wasn't good.
Oh, well, then let's go. Good night, everybody. We love you all.